with the Cincinnati Bengals. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. To return it, Darius Phillips. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. This defense for the Jets, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Now it's Burrow. This is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And on 4th down, honors the punt team sending this one away. And here comes Berrios. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. First carry for the former Tar Heel, Michael Carter. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
A good strong run there by Michael Carter, reminiscent of his days at North Carolina. A 1,000-yard rusher each of his last 2 years in Chapel Hill. Despite being in a timeshare with Javonte Williams, who was a second-round pick of the Denver Broncos. Carter, the second pick of the 4th round out of UNC. He could be the Jets' leading rusher moving forward.
Pushes past him. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Trey Burton. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Six yards left on 2nd down. Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Trey Burton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This taken in at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Bengals drive about to get going. And the last drive, their first drive, 3-and-out.
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. 6-0 our score after 1. And the first play will be a field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously,
this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A handoff for Carter. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. This time, Wilson will throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. On 1st down, Mixon. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Here we go.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're doing a 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen down as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now Carter to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh? And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Throw right side complete to Carter. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap and a give to Carter. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. To throw is Wilson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Carter. Touchdown, Jets. Michael Carter with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. So, Charles, you talk about this offense this week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. Because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not very much of an advantage. You might be playing well, not slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
That is caught. It's Uzama. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. First and 10 here, and if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. And the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on second and long. Burrow escaping the pressure right. He's going to fire one. Corner of the end zone. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal.
13, Bengals 10. Evan McPherson with kickoff for Cincinnati.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next position. Just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Wilson. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Carter once more. They find some open field here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one. And this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And there was so much that was impressive about this play. But it wasn't just what he did downfield. What he did behind the line of scrimmage. This wasn't a play where he just had a direct path to get him downfield and make the big play. He had to adjust on the fly behind the line of scrimmage. And in the end, that became a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads into bigger errors.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Here's Berrios. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Carter. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now Joe Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Tate. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Burrow. Able to find Higgins. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 2nd and 11. Burrow looking to pass. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. The throw down the field caught by his running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Josh Jones in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Now Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And these guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. On the return, Phillips. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 77 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mixon. Dancing away at the 35. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 44, Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Burrow loses the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. To the air again, Burrow. Got a man, it's Chase. He completes it. Finding room to the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Another shot for Chase. He's got it this time. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And Burrow going to throw again. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Oh, a mistake there. The kickoff out of bounds.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's a give to Carter. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Another tote for Carter. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took